Hey there, LinkedIn. I've just finished giving a workshop to a bunch of exhausted school teachers where I've been talking to them about micro actions for their well-being. So working out what the domino effect, what the domino is that might help them move towards feeling more physically and mentally resilient. Now, I couldn't solve that all in half an hour, but I took them through a process. And it's always just a good reminder for all of us, myself included, that looking after our health and well-being and taking action doesn't have to be about the big things. It doesn't have to be about spending a fortune on a gym membership or going on a 6-day retreat in Bali. Lovely as that would be, it can be about simple things that are as simple as having that extra glass of water in the morning to help with your energy levels and focus at work during the day. It can be as simple as setting yourself an alarm to remind you to go to bed at a certain time every night rather than accidentally getting trapped into a Netflix binge session. Or it can be things like, just rather than finding it impossible to find time to go to the gym or to go out for a run, to make actions as micro as possible when it comes to movement too. So doing a few squats while you wait for the kettle to boil. I'm sure you've heard that tip before, but it is surprisingly effective. Or just going for a 10-minute walk or run. It is totally worth it, even if it doesn't feel like that is enough, but actually something is always better than nothing. And often what happens with these micro actions is that it then becomes much easier to take bigger actions after that, because when you've had more water to drink, you've got more energy and you think, well, maybe I will go for that walk after lunch or before I have my dinner or some such thing. Or it might be that by setting that alarm to go to bed, you go to bed on time 4 nights a week, you go to bed a little bit earlier, you wake up more refreshed, you actually find that you could go out for a morning run, or you have got more energy to make yourself a really nice lunch to take to work rather than grabbing a sandwich from the nearest cafe. Just simple things like that small micro actions can have a lovely ripple effect. And often we find ourselves, I talk mainly to women in midlife, most of the women in this workshop were in that stage of life where you've got multiple responsibilities and where your standard response to how are you is busy, that we can often tell ourselves stories that are about why we can't do things, why we haven't got the time to look after ourselves, and why we might end up feeling worse as a result. We might blame our lack of energy or on our hormones, and yes, of course that could well be at play, but there are other things too. So finding the time to take micro actions can sometimes help us to start to change and shift our stories as well. So that's my little pep talk for this really rather gloomy Wednesday afternoon. If you've got any questions, if you'd like to talk to me, you've actually just got a couple of days left to book in my perimenopause power hour for £99, and now is as good a time as any. And it can be a really useful way of finding those micro actions that can be that key domino for your well-being. So drop me a line if you'd like to find out a little bit more. Thank you for listening. Bye.